Spain has reached the quarter-final. Belgium stands in the way. The football world is watching a teenager carrying the hopes of an entire nation. Before Barcelona trusted him, before the records, before comparisons with Lionel Messi, he was simply a fearless kid from LA Masia. But just how good was Lamine Yamal actually? La Roja marched into the knockout rounds of the FIFA World Cup 2026 after dominating Group H. A convincing 3-0 victory over Austria was followed by a gritty 1-0 triumph against Portugal. Now the Spain national team descends on Los Angeles for a massive Spain versus Belgium quarter-final. This match is the ultimate proving ground for manager Luis de la Fuente's tactical system, a high-pressing vertical style that demands relentless aggression and technical perfection. This is no one-man show. Spain football is built around a world-class engine room. 2024 Ballon d'Or winner Rodri commands the midfield, flanked by the brilliant Barcelona duo of Pedri and Gavi. On the left, Nico Williams provides explosive width. Yet, as tactical analysts on Daily Ballerz note, the world's attention remains fixed on the opposite flank. While comparisons to Lionel Messi and Cristiano Ronaldo dominate modern football history, Lamine Yamal plays to his own rhythm. The La Masia graduate has transformed how Spain attacks. Some players wait for opportunities. Lamine Yamal creates them. In this high-stakes quarter-final, the world will see if this new generation can truly conquer the tournament. Spain's football history was forged on patient control and elite technical structure. The legacy began at Euro 1964, but peaked during an unprecedented era of dominance. Between 2008 and 2012, La Roja defined the global standard. This was the era of tiki-taka, a system that weaponized possession, precise spacing, and hypnotic repetition to dismantle opponents. Winning Euro 2008, the 2010 World Cup, and Euro 2012 back-to-back created a terrifyingly high benchmark. But that inevitability shattered after 2014. A rigid adherence to passing without penetration led to stagnant, painful exits. The round of 16 in Euro 2016, Russia 2018, and Qatar 2022. Spain's signature style had become its own golden cage. This decline left an unresolved tactical transition and a massive emotional burden on the next generation. Lamine Yamal steps into Spanish football to resolve this transition and fill the empty throne of a stalled empire. This historic rise began on July 13, 2007 in Esplugues de Llobregat. Born to a Moroccan father, Munir Nasraoui, and an Equatorial mother, Sheila Ebenar, Yamal grew up in the working-class neighborhoods on the outskirts of Barcelona. Long before he stepped onto Camp Nou, his training grounds were the concrete courts and narrow streets of Rocafonda. Playing soccer against much older physical opponents, he developed rapid scanning, deceptive body feints, and an instinctive fearlessness that defined his style. In 2014, at just 7 years old, he entered Barcelona's famed academy, La Masia. The youth coaches preserved his street football creativity, refining his raw ingenuity into an elite attacking weapon. They taught him how to read compact defenses, manipulate space, and make rapid decisions under pressure. Some players wait for opportunities. Lamine Yamal creates them. He plays with the confidence most players never find. By 2023, Barcelona was a club buried under immense financial debt, struggling to define its modern identity. When an injury crisis struck the right wing, the board had to look inward to La Masia. At 15, Yamal joined the first team, bypassing the traditional developmental path to anchor a mandatory youth-first rebuild. The club promoted a teenager because their economic survival demanded it, placing their institutional hope directly on his young shoulders. Instantly, the Spanish media invoked the shadow of Lionel Messi, creating a structural burden that was deeply unfair to a child. The iconic Barcelona shirt itself became a source of crushing expectation. Yet Yamal was not there to copy a legacy or chase ghosts. In a stadium desperate for homegrown meaning, he began carving out an entirely different legacy. Lamine Yamal plays with the confidence most players never find, turning the weight of a historic rebuild into his personal playground. Lamine Yamal plays with the confidence most players never find. Operating in a designated right-wing role, his left-footed profile completely rewrites how opposing backlines must defend. His entire attacking approach is engineered around winning duels before a defender can fully set his feet. Using subtle body feints and tight close control, he maintains around 55% dribble success in isolated 1-versus-1 dribbling scenarios. But he is far from a traditional wide outlet. He constantly drifts inside, hunting for the half spaces where he can turn simple possession into immediate danger. Once there, his passing, vision and crossing unlock compact low blocks. He averages 1.9 key passes and 0.41 assists per 90 minutes, turning his wing play into elite chance creation. He also threatens the goal directly, registering 0.32 expected non-penalty goals per 90 minutes to keep central defenders honest. Even when opponents press him heavily, his press resistance remains exceptionally key. While his direct, high-risk style results in a 58% press win rate against him when he is isolated under heavy pressure, his tracking back and off-ball work rate never drop. His defensive contribution remains incredibly high, utilizing rapid scanning to spearhead Spain and Barcelona's vertical pressing schemes. This exceptional level of tactical maturity is exactly what makes him a consistent structural engine first and a global phenomenon second. On April 29, 2023, Lamine Yamal became the youngest senior debutant in Barcelona history at 15 years and 291 days. On September 8, 2023, he became the youngest player and goal scorer for the Spain national team at 16 years and 57 days. He then became Barcelona's youngest Champions League debutant at 16 years and 68 days, and the youngest goal scorer in La Liga history at 16 years and 38 days. These milestones show a rare acceleration. At Euro 2024, he was named Young Player of the Tournament, providing a tournament-high 4 assists to help secure the trophy. The global football community responded with clear consensus, recognizing his impact on Spain football. He claimed the Copa Trophy back-to-back in 2024 and 2025 and won the 2024 Golden Boy Award with 97.6% of the votes. By 17, he was the youngest nominee in Ballon d'Or history, before finishing as the runner-up in the 2025 voting. Every layer of history makes the next expectation heavier. The modern strength of Spain football comes from structure, not nostalgia. Inside the Spain national team, Lamine Yamal is not a solitary savior, but the cutting edge of a coordinated machine. Coach Luis de la Fuente has engineered a system that blends possession with direct, high-pressing attack. According to tactical analysts on Daily Ballerz, this balance is anchored by 2024 Ballon d'Or winner Rodri, who secures the midfield. In front of him, the Barcelona and La Masia connection of Pedri and Gavi provides rhythm and bite. On the left, Nico Williams stretches the field with explosive width, opening the exact half spaces Yamal exploits on the right. With Marc Cucurella providing overlapping runs, Fabian Ruiz linking play, and Unai Simon distributing from the back, Spain's chemistry evokes the 2008 to 2012 golden era of football history. Unlike the individualistic eras of Lionel Messi or Cristiano Ronaldo, this setup relies on the collective. As this football documentary shows ahead of high-stakes clashes like Spain versus Belgium, this tactical evolution is built to carry LA Rocha through the FIFA World Cup 2026. The noise inside SoFi Stadium fades as the teams emerge. The chemistry of De La Fuente's squad is no longer a theory, it is a target. In this high-stakes quarter-final, Spain versus Belgium represents the precise threshold where promise meets reality and where a tournament narrative can shatter in a single second. Belgium arrives with the veteran steel to dismantle a rising empire. For Lamine Yamal, this is the crucible. He is no longer just an exciting prospect. He is Spain's primary reference point, carrying the heavy expectations of a nation. One bad touch, one brilliant flash, one split-second decision will now define how this entire Spanish generation is remembered. The margin for error has completely vanished. Can Lamine Yamal lead Spain back to the top of world football? Barcelona secured his future in May 2025 with an extension running to 2031, shielded by a massive €1 billion release clause. In the football industry, his market valuation has exploded. Transfermarkt values the teenager at around €200 million, while the CIS Football Observatory places his real-world asset value above €350 million, making him the most valuable player on the planet. His commercial power stretches far outside Spain. Barcelona reports that jersey sales surged by 30% once his name was printed on the back. On social media, his digital reach is staggering, capturing 45.15 million Instagram followers and 49 million on TikTok. This audience, combined with his Moroccan and Equatorial Guinean roots, gives him a massive cross-border appeal that sweeps across Europe, North Africa, and Central Africa. Global brands moved quickly. After reportedly receiving a personal video message from Lionel Messi, he left Nike to sign a long-term partnership with Adidas, who immediately positioned him as the face of their global campaigns. He is no longer just a teenager playing a game. Lamine Yamal is a global industry asset. This Spain versus Belgium quarter-final presents a classic tactical contrast. Spain's possession-heavy model faces a veteran Belgian side built for direct transitions through Kevin De Bruyne and Romelu Lukaku. To dismantle this experienced bloc, the Spain national team relies on systematic structural manipulation. Ballon d'Or winner Rodri dictates the tempo from deep, while Pedri operates in the central pockets, drawing Belgian midfielders out of position. On the left, Nico Williams stretches the defensive line to its absolute limit, forcing the opposition defense to shift horizontally. This coordinated collective movement is designed to isolate Lamine Yamal in dangerous 1-versus-1 scenarios on the right wing. In Luis de la Fuente's system, Yamal is the designated structural disruptor, using his 55% dribble success rate to break compact lines. The entire Spanish strategy hinges on his teammates generating the exact conditions Yamal needs to attack. It is a chess match where individual brilliance must break down collective structure. When the football world invokes names like Lionel Messi, Cristiano Ronaldo, or Neymar, it is not to crown a teenage king, but to define a rare developmental speed. Very few players have looked this complete so early. Stylistically, Lamine Yamal combines the close control creativity of a Messi-type profile with the fearless direct dribbling seen in modern wide attackers, like Vinicius Jr. and Kylian Mbappe. While established stars like Bukayo Saka, Phil Foden and Arda Güler emerged as highly polished prospects, Yamal's decision-making and calmness under pressure at 18 place him in an almost unprecedented historical cohort. This is not about declaring him better than the legends. It is an acknowledgement that his baseline maturity is something the sport has rarely witnessed in a teenager. The glare of constant public scrutiny means Lamine Yamal is often judged as an adult while still growing as a teenager. In the modern football environment, social media backlash and aggressive headline culture can easily turn natural player development into harsh public judgment. Because of this, Barcelona's management faces a constant battle to protect the player they also rely on to deliver on the pitch. By the end of the 2024 to 2025 season, the winger had logged roughly 2,800 minutes of high-intensity football. Though he has avoided major long-term injuries, a minor hamstring issue in early 2026 exposed the physical risks of his heavy workload. To counter these risks, the club enforces a strict rotation policy, resting him at least once every 6 weeks. This physical management is paired with weekly sports psychology sessions to protect his mental well-being. Safeguarding his health is just as important as his match-winning production. The Spain national team has always defined itself through its leaders. Raúl and Iker Casillas established a standard of raw resilience. Then Xavi, Andrés Iniesta and Sergio Busquets rewrote football history, translating midfield control into absolute dominance, while David Villa and Fernando Torres converted that possession into trophies. On the backline, Sergio Ramos provided the steel. These legends did not leave behind a mold to copy, they left a standard of national authority. Lamine Yamal stands at the start of a new symbolic phase, carrying the inheritance of a changing language on the pitch. The questions surrounding Lamine Yamal stretch far past the current tournament. At 18, the projections are dizzying. Can he eventually claim the Ballon d'Or after finishing as the runner-up in 2025? Will he be the force that leads Barcelona back to European dominance, or the leader who guides the Spain national team to another era of global rule? Some observers already wonder if he could become the greatest Spanish player in football history. But these are questions, not guaranteed outcomes. Sustaining this upward trajectory depends on variables that require patient management. Physical health, elite coaching, tactical consistency, and the emotional maturity needed to handle intense public pressure. Both Barcelona and Spain heavily rely on his talent on the pitch, but neither can be allowed to completely consume him. The path to long-term greatness is built on steady progress, not prophetic expectations. The horizon is completely open, leaving the final verdict to the years ahead. Lamine Yamal plays with the confidence most players never find. As Spain's new era collides with the global stage in 2026, he is no longer just the future of Barcelona and La Masia. He is the present. Whether this generation reclaims glory depends on how a teenager handles the heaviest crown in football. Join the conversation in the comments below.